There's a weapon in every modern office. It's not a gun, not a virus, and not your boss's motivational quotes. It's something quieter, invisible, clinical, and almost polite. A weapon designed to control behavior, kill creativity, and slowly erase your sense of self. It's called the workspace. And whether you're in a cubicle, a startup open floor plan, or working remotely, you're probably still living inside its psychological trap. Today, we're counting down the most disturbing truths about how modern offices were engineered, not for your mind, but against it. Number 8, the architecture of obedience. Ever wonder why offices all look the same? Gray wall, straight lines, fluorescent lighting. It's not an accident. That clean, efficient design was never about productivity. It was about control. Back in the early 1900s, factory owners discovered something darkly effective. If you make a space predictable, people inside it become predictable too. The modern open-plan office, those endless rows of desks, wasn't inspired by creativity. It was inspired by prisons. The open layout came from industrial efficiency studies, a way to make every worker visible, trackable, and self-policing. You didn't need guards when everyone could see everyone else. Fast forward to today, and we've replaced foremen with project managers and walls with glass. Same effect, different branding. When everything is transparent, privacy becomes guilt. And when you feel watched, your brain switches into survival mode, hyper-aware, cautious, and compliant. Exactly what the system wants. So next time you're at your desk and wonder why you feel tired after a day of just sitting, remember, it's not the work that drains you, it's the design. Number 7, the tyranny of brightness. You know that harsh, cold light buzzing above your head? The one that makes your skin look like printer paper? That's not an accident either. Fluorescent and LED lights were chosen for efficiency, not biology. Your brain, however, evolved under sunlight. Warm, dynamic, full of subtle color shifts. Artificial light, especially blue light, confuses your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that controls alertness, hormones, and mood. Basically, your office is telling your body it's high noon, forever, and your brain, it's melting quietly. This constant glare doesn't just cause eye strain, it dulls emotional processing. That's why people in bright, sterile environments are more likely to feel anxious, detached, or apathetic. Your brain interprets that kind of light as a stress signal, a sign that you should stay alert, not comfortable. It's the perfect trick. Keep you awake enough to work, but too drained to resist. That's not lighting. That's psychological management with a lampshade. Number 6, the cult of productivity. Here's the thing. The modern office isn't designed for work. It's designed for the appearance of work. Every notification ping, every quick sync, every color-coded task board is engineered to make you feel productive, not to help you actually think. The system doesn't want deep focus, it wants constant motion. Because motion looks measurable, thinking doesn't. That's why people who spend all day in meetings feel like they got a lot done, even when they didn't move a single project forward. Your brain is addicted to closure, checking boxes, replying to emails, hitting send. Each gives you a tiny dopamine hit, but long-term, it kills your ability to focus. The office doesn't just manage your schedule, it manages your psychology. It keeps you chasing small wins so you'll never notice the bigger loss. Your time. Number 5, the algorithmic boss. Meet your new manager. It's not a person, it's a system. From project tracking dashboards to time monitoring software, your every click and scroll is quietly recorded. And the worst part? It's not even for humans anymore. Most modern performance systems use algorithmic scoring, AI tools that analyze your digital behavior to predict how productive you are. They track your hours, your email response speed, even your keyboard activity. They reduce your mind to a metric. And when you start realizing your worth is being decided by a data model, Something happens to your psychology. You stop thinking like a human and start performing like a machine. You reply faster. You hesitate less. You prioritize what looks efficient over what actually matters. The result? An entire workforce optimized for obedience, not originality. Congratulations, you've been successfully gamified. Number 4, the temperature trap. If hell had an HR department, it would set the thermostat to slightly uncomfortable. Every office has that one war, the thermostat war. Someone's freezing, someone's sweating, and everyone's passive-aggressively adjusting the dial like it's the launch code to a nuclear reactor. But here's the creepy part. That constant discomfort, it's not a design flaw, it's a design feature. Studies show that temperature directly affects mood, focus, and even risk-taking behavior. Colder rooms make people more cautious, compliant, and task-oriented. Warmer rooms, on the other hand, encourage creativity, comfort, and, conversation. So, if you've ever noticed that the office feels just cold enough to keep you alert, but not happy, congratulations. You're experiencing thermal management psychology. It's a subtle way to keep workers in a state of mild tension. Not enough to rebel, just enough to stay stimulated. And when your body's fighting to stay warm, it spends less energy thinking critically. That's not just workplace discomfort, that's biological obedience training. Basically, your office is air-conditioned compliance. Number 3, the color code of control. You might not notice it, but color is doing half your thinking for you. Corporate design teams spend millions studying how hues affect your emotions. And guess what? Every shade in your workspace has a job. Blues and grays, calm compliance, soft beige, emotional neutrality, a little splash of red, stimulate urgency. The typical office palette isn't professional, it's psychological seduction. These colors mute your nervous system just enough to keep you calm, focused, and passive. Compare that to bright natural colors. Green from plants, yellow from sunlight. Those hues trigger dopamine, creativity, curiosity, which is why you'll almost never find them in large doses inside a corporate environment. A jungle of plants in an office doesn't just look nice, it's a rebellion. It's introducing chaos into a perfectly controlled system. So next time you wonder why the walls look like printer toner and depression had a baby, it's because they're meant to. Number 2, the meeting maze. You know the feeling. A meeting that could have been an email, followed by an email that could have been a thought. Welcome to the meeting maze, a ritual designed to look like collaboration but function like surveillance. Meetings were originally created to align information. Now they're a stage where everyone performs productivity to reassure everyone else that they're being productive. It's psychological theater starring your imposter syndrome. You're not just talking, you're managing impressions. Tone, attention, agreement. That constant self-monitoring eats energy faster than any workload ever could. Every quick check-in is a micro-performance. Every circle back is a dopamine bait. And every follow-up action is a polite way of saying, we achieved nothing, but let's pretend we did. By the end of the day, you're mentally exhausted, not because you work too much, but because you've been performing stability in a system built on chaos. It's not collaboration, it's cognitive puppeteering. Number 1, the psychological cage. This is the final layer. The part of the system that's so invisible, you've probably thanked it. The modern office doesn't trap you physically, it traps you mentally. Through reward systems, social cues, and invisible hierarchies that keep you chasing approval instead of purpose. Your company mission statement? That's not motivation, that's moral camouflage. The beanbag chairs, the coffee bar, we're like a family here. That's just the cage painted gold. Your brain, wired for tribe and belonging, confuses these gestures for safety. And once you feel safe, you stop questioning the system. You become self-regulating, the dream employee who enforces their own compliance without ever realizing it. The truth is, the modern office doesn't want rebels, it wants believers. People who think they're free because the walls are made of glass, So the next time you sit down under the soft hum of LED lights and corporate slogans, remember, you're not in an office. You're in a perfectly engineered psychological habitat, a habitat that keeps you fed, focused, and quietly obedient until the day you call it balance. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future, exposing the hidden psychology behind everyday life. Subscribe to Hidden Reflex to stay curious, skeptical, and just paranoid enough to stay awake.